Hello there, I'm Dr. Phil Hammond. I'm a GP and a broadcaster, and I'm generally quite sceptical about medicine. There are 14,000 treatments for which we have evidence that they work, and although they do, they probably don't work quite as well as the drug industry or even some doctors would have you believe. But vaccination really is one of our success stories. Worldwide, it saves about 3 million lives a year, and we could probably save the lives of another 2 million children if we were able to get them the vaccinations they need. Vaccination was responsible for wiping out polio in 1977, a disease that used to kill millions. And we're pretty close to wiping out polio, which also paralysed millions of people. My grandfather was disabled following the polio epidemic in the UK in 1947. But in rich countries today, most of us have forgotten how unpleasant diseases like TB, diphtheria and whooping cough can be. We can now vaccinate against most of the infectious diseases that used to kill us. We can protect against many forms of meningitis, and we're about to introduce a vaccination programme to protect girls against cervical cancer. Vaccines work by getting our body's immune system to memorise the threat of a disease, so when they come up against it, they can mount a swift response. Some vaccines are inactivated, which means they just contain a little bit of the bacteria or virus that we're protecting against. Other vaccines are live but weakened. These produce a much stronger immune response that tends to last longer, but they can also produce a mild form of a disease, such as a slight rash with the measles vaccine. Immunisation is different to other treatments in that it affects not just you, but the community within which you live. Infectious diseases spread very easily, and the vast majority of people within a community need to be vaccinated to protect against the disease. If just a small number of people decide not to have their children vaccinated, for example, then diseases spread very easily, and the most vulnerable people suffer most, such as children under 2 months who are too young to be vaccinated. No vaccine is 100% effective, so there will always be people who have the vaccine but still contract the disease. And no treatment, even a vaccine, is 100% safe, but the evidence that vaccination does more good than harm is overwhelming. Most doctors don't practice what we preach. We eat a bit too much, we drink a bit too much alcohol, and we don't take enough exercise. But every doctor I know has had themselves and their family fully vaccinated. This part of the site will take you through the pros and cons of different vaccines that might be offered to you and your family. We'll be doing both sides of the argument, some for, some against, so hopefully you'll be able to develop a balanced view about which vaccines you want for you and your family.